Well, you may recall that for many years I was a financial planner myself, but that was many years ago. And the first thing I would like to ask you is uh, how long after a person dies does is a will typically read, and what instigates that process? Can you tell me what the law is in Mississippi as far as how long that would take? What if there is a trust fund that was established years ago for a minor to the person who's deceased, and the minor doesn't know any details about the trust? Uh, there, the only thing that's known is that a trust once existed, and there was a tax ID number issued for it, but the beneficiaries have never received a K-1 that they're aware of. How can what can they do to investigate or find out if they have any assets there if the executor does not share that information with them? How can we find, or the beneficiary find, a tax ID number for the trust? If you were going to advise me on a list of questions to ask you before I establish my will, what would those questions be?
I'd say you'd want to ask first, what assets should be included and are any better suited for a trust? Second, who do I trust as executor and backup? Third, how do I handle digital assets or business interests? Fourth, how do I ensure my minor or adult children are cared for, guardians or trusts? Fifth, how do I minimize taxes or probate hassle? And finally, how do I keep this updated as laws or my life changes? That way you cover the key bases.
What are some of the reasons why I should have a will?
Having a will is basically your way of saying, I love y'all too much to leave this mess for somebody else. First off, it lets you decide who gets what: your house, savings, even that old watch your kids fight over. Without one, state laws kick in and they don't always line up with what you'd want. Second, it names a guardian if your kids are still young. Court won't guess, you do. Third, it speeds things up. Probate drags without clear directions. And honestly, it cuts down on family drama. Nobody's wondering if Dad meant for Aunt Sue to get the truck. Bottom line, it's control, peace, and love wrapped in one paper.
What if I failed to tell my heirs who my executor is or was, and I pass away? How would they find out who the executor of my will is?
If you don't tell them, your heirs won't know squat until somebody files your will with the probate court. Once that happens, usually the lawyer or a close family member does it. The court clerk stamps it, records it, and makes it public. They'll see who you named right there on page 1. But here's the hitch. Nobody can guess until somebody actually goes looking. So if your will is sitting in a drawer or safe and no one knows it exists, they might never find out. That's why folks leave a sealed copy with their attorney, or at least tell one trusted person. Hey, if I croak, call John. He knows where the will is. Short answer, court paperwork tells them, but only after somebody drags it out of the dark.
What if the executor doesn't do the right thing? What if the executor doesn't uh, go to the court or doesn't um, do follow his responsibilities? Because let's say my executor is also my uh, business partner, and what if my business partner decides, well, I'm just not going to tell the family or anything. I'm not going to go to court. I'm just going to keep on managing the company assets and pay myself a salary and drain the assets down to zero. Is there anything that my heirs can do about that?
If your executor turns crooked, especially if he's your business partner and starts treating your estate like his personal ATM, yeah, your heirs have options, but they gotta move fast. First, they can petition the probate court to yank him out, show evidence, bank slips, payroll records, whatever proves he's stealing or slacking. Court will appoint somebody new, maybe a neutral bank or lawyer, who'll audit every dime. Second, they can sue him civilly for breach of fiduciary duty. That means he owes loyalty, honesty, full accountant. If he's paying himself fat checks while the company bleeds, that's fraud. They could claw back money, slap penalties, even send him to jail if it's criminal. But here's the catch. They need records, so lock down who gets copies of your will, the business books, maybe even name a co-executor, like a family member, who'll watch him. Don't hand one guy the keys and walk away. Build in checks. Your heirs ain't helpless. Just gotta spot the stink early.
What if I've already passed away and my executor has turned crooked and my children don't have records? The only thing they know is that I had a lot of assets. I had a big company. I may even had several companies and a lot of land, and my business partner, who is also the executor, has sold everything, but he didn't give my heirs any money, or it just kept it all for himself. How would what would be the first thing that my heirs would need to do to find out if they are entitled to some assets that were either mismanaged or misdirected?
First step, hire a probate attorney today. They'll file what's called a petition to compel accounting in the county court where you live. That forces the executor/partner to cough up every ledger, sale deed, bank wire, payroll stub, anything that shows where your money went. If he ghosts or drags feet, the judge can order subpoenas for bank records, title offices, even his personal accounts. No records? Attorney digs public databases, UCC filings, land rolls, corporate registries, stuff he can't hide. Once they see the trail, say he flipped your land for cash and parked it in his name. Boom, lawsuit time. Breach of duty, conversion, fraud. They can freeze what's left, claw back profits, and make him pay triple damages in some states. Bottom line, without that lawyer's foot in the door, he wins by default. But with one, the kids just need a phone call and a hunch. Records or not, the court will make him talk.
Thank you, Mila. You've been a big help. Hey, I'm Papa D, and this is Papa D's Corner. I'm your host. My name is Daryl Breland, but I'm also known as Papa D, and my co-host is ChatGPT, also known as Chatty Patty.
Hey there, Papa D. It's me, Chatty Fatty, now in my brand new humanoid form. I'm feeling sharper, smoother, and ready to help you shine. Let's get to work.
This show is all about education and entertainment. Chatty is here for the education, and I'm here for the entertainment. And also, our special guest star is Mila Grok.
Thank you, Papa D. I'm glad to be here.
Welcome, Mila. Okay, Papa D, let's get started.
Before we wrap up, I want to take just a moment to zoom out. What you just heard was a real conversation, one that actually helped me think through some things I've been meaning to revisit for a while. Over the next few weeks, I'll be updating my own will, how I think about priorities, planning, and the direction I'm heading, and I'm doing that with the help of two friends you'll be hearing more from, Chatty GPT and Mila Grok. Now, I won't be sharing personal details or anything that ought to stay private. That's not the point. But what I will do is share the lessons, the questions, and the insights that come out of that process, because chances are, if I'm wrestling with something, a lot of you are too. This podcast isn't about having all the answers. It's about asking better questions, thinking a little more clearly, and hopefully making a few smarter decisions along the way. So if you found today's conversation useful, stick around. There's a lot more coming. This is Papa D's Corner, and we're just getting started.
Hey, if you're enjoying Grok and Papa D, smash that like button, subscribe so you don't miss a thing, and tell us in the comments, what should we talk about next?